Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading, and this is your weekly analysis for the pound versus the dollar. So GBPUSD, the cable, as some people call it. The date is August 23rd, 2020. It is 12:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to stay up to date with all of our videos, make sure you click that red subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So I'm bullish. As you can see, sentiment bullish. Price has moved on top of this price channel. Think of a trend channel, if you will, as horizontal support and resistance over time, which means it occurs at an angle. So have my trend line here, and if I were to clone this to get that same angle, we can see that the theory works on both sides. I can confirm this is a trend here. We've got a touch in the under and the over side here, and then another one, and then another one. We've also got confirmation of a trend channel touches, several on the top side. And now price has gone through, pushed above it, came back down, touched it several times, and is held because it's support. So you think about support and resistance. Now we've moved above that. So if we go back here, even back to 2020, we can see this is a price that was tested and slowly eroded and then fell through. And now price has come back up. But so far, this time, price has really stayed on top of that. And this is the daily. So this is the daily fast-moving average. Typically, when price dips down into the daily, then we'll see the next move up, pushing up. But the good news is I can get in here at the 1.3087, and I can put my stop zero right below 1.30. It's only about 80 pips, because that would mean if price fell below that, it actually fell through this channel and horizontal support and resistance. So that's the worst that could happen. And that's a really good point. That's way better than buying up here. Hopefully last week you didn't get caught up buying about the $1.32 mark, because now maybe you're still have a winning position, but you're 200 pips in the hole, waiting for it to come around. That's a horrible feeling. And then you're kind of locked all week, right? You can't trade because your margins ate up. So right now, I feel it's a good spot to get in because I am bullish. Let's switch over to the 4-hour. Here we can see that. Actually, I wanted to show you something in the weekly. So if we look in the weekly, we can see that, right, this was like it has a long, tall shadow, which sometimes you can like, oh, that's bearish. But really, it's important. This is a gravestone doji in some regards, where price flattened out all the way here, and it couldn't go any further, and that's where the week closed. Plus, we've got the fast weekly moving average. And unlike the euro, we're not like miles ahead, so it means there's a lot of room for growth. So I think this one's really going to pop off soon. So that's in the weekly. So that looks great, and we can see this, right? This horizontal line goes all the way back to 2017 and beyond, 2016, right? So historically, it's super important. Now we're moving back to the top side of that. Once again, if price fell below 1.30, then I would reverse my sentiment, but for now I'm bullish. Let's go ahead to the 4-hour. Let's add those pivot points. Okay, so go ahead and adjust this. GBPUSD 1.3138 is the pivot. I like to think of the pivot as a place that price, just by averaging out, will have to go sometime this week. And it should happen without too much effort, without too much buying or selling. Just going to kind of gradually, float up there, if you will. We've got support 1, S1 at, oh, that can't be right. I must have double copied the euro numbers. But we can say we've got support for sure right about 30.50, right? So let's go ahead and put S1. Right here in this zone is our first support, right? So I'm going to put my stops well below that. Now I did for sure capture the right, let's see, 1.3138. Okay, so there we got our support 1. Sorry about that. We've got our pivot here. So we're going to say our first resistance is most likely right about the 3180 mark. How we tell? That was a high back here in August. It was a low, intraday low, the other day, in mid-August. So this is early August. This is mid-August. Prices tested it, so that's going to be RR1. you can easily figure out pivot points even without the math behind them, just by places that price has visited previously in the past become support and or resistance. So once, as we can see here, a couple of times prices tested that. That means the next time, even though we are in the bull trend, we believe we're going to break higher, it will test that line before going further. So we could see this week for pound, we could see ourselves stuck in a bit of a range. But once again, I'm okay with that because I'm buying at the very bottom of the range. And that means even over the few weeks, if I wanted to hold long-term, if I'm a long-term hold trader, that would still be pretty valid as long as the interest wouldn't kill me. And then, or I can just cash out at 31.80 for the short term, right? Intra week, if I visit the top of this channel midweek, I can go ahead and bomb out again, take my profit, wait for profit, prices to dip down again, and then once more do another buy. All right, everyone. I hope you have a great week trading. Take it easy.